Hello, welcome back to Chapter 4, The Rat Trap, written by Selma Lagerlof. Today I'm going to explain you page 38. So here we go. My name is Adla Wilminson, said the young girl. Okay, so she reached the forge. She reached the mill, then the forge. She entered the forge, and there she found the the rat trap seller, lying near the furnace. She went up to him, removed the hat, and he jumped up. Now here she introduced herself. She said she was Adla Wilminson. Wilminson. And then she said, my father came home and said that you wanted to sleep here in the forest tonight. And then she said that, well, father came home and he told me that you, that is, that is my father's friend, want to spend the night here in the forge. And then I asked permission to come and bring you home to us. And then she said that I took permission. When father informed me in that way, I took permission from him to bring you home. And that's why I'm here. I'm so sorry, Captain, that you are having such a hard time. And then she expressed her grief, her disappointment that he had been going through such a tough time, such a tough phase in his life. She looked at him compassionately with her heavy eyes, and then she noticed that the man was afraid. Okay, now she looked at him with compassion, with love, with this softness of heart, and with her heavy eyes. She looked also with heavy eyes because there was pity in her eyes. There was the disappointment in her eyes, disappointment because he had to face such a tough situation, or that he had been going through such a tough phase in life. So, and as she looked, she then noticed that the man was afraid. And as she looked at him, she realized that the man was afraid. He was scared. He was frightened. Either he has stolen something or else he has escaped from jail, she thought, and added quickly, you may be sure, Captain, that you will be allowed to leave us just as freely as you came. And then she realized that, well, either he has stolen something or has escaped from the jail. She thought in that way. She realized, and she spoke these words to herself, and then she added very quickly. She was very quick, very prompt in her decision, in making or in analyzing the person, analyzing that man, and then making the decision, right decision. And then she said, you may be sure that you will be allowed to leave us just as freely as you came. That is, you be sure, be confident, rest assured. I rest you assured that you will be leaving us, or that you will be allowed to leave us freely. That is, we will not create any kind of obstruction, any kind of hindrance, any kind of disturbance to you, and you will be leaving us freely. That is, there won't be any kind of trouble to you. Only please stay with us over Christmas Eve. The only thing we want, we desire, we wish is that you spend the Christmas Eve with us. She said this in such a friendly manner that the RATTRAP paddler must have felt confidence in her, and the way she said all those words, the RATTRAP seller gain confidence. He felt good, and he also felt that yes, there is no trouble going with her, and that she would not hand him over to the police. It would never have occurred to me that you would bother with me yourself, miss, he said. I will come at once. And he said, well, I never could imagine that you would trouble yourself for such such a common man, on such a trifle man as I am. So I will not disappoint you. I'm coming with you. He accepted the fur coat, which the valet handed him with a deep bow, threw it over his rags, and followed the young lady out to the carriage without granting the astonished blacksmith so much as a glance. Okay, so he accepted after that, as he was ready to follow the lady, the young girl. So he accepted the fur coat. He took the fur coat from the valet, who offered it to him with a deep bow, with proper honor, with proper respect. Okay, so that is it. And then, okay, so he got it, then he threw it over there, then he wore it over his rags. And then he followed her to the carriage that she left outside the gate, outside the mill gate. Okay, now before leaving, as he was leaving, he did not even feel it necessary to give a glance, give a look at the astonished blacksmith there, the staff there. The staff was amazed, astonished, puzzled, because what they considered was a tramp turned out to be a very important person. But while he was riding up to the manor house, he had evil forebodings. And now, as he was riding, as he was moving to the manor house, or the friend's house, or the iron master's house, there came the evil foreboding, that is the evil forecast. He started receiving evil evil signals, you can say, foreboding, forecast, you can say premonition that something bad is going to happen. So such a thought started coming to him as he was riding. He was thinking of the evil things that is going to happen to him. Okay, and he realized that he would be never able to come out of the trap, that he was entering the trap, he was going inside the trap, and that this trap would close in on him. Okay, now the next day was Christmas Eve, and when the iron master came into the dining room for breakfast, he probably thought with satisfaction of his old regimental comrade whom he had run across so unexpectedly. So the next morning was the Christmas Eve, and the ironmaster came to the dining room. He reached the dining room, and he felt good, he felt contented, he felt satisfied. There was satisfaction in his heart that he met his friend, though accidentally, but there was a satisfaction in him that at least he met his friend who was in such a distressed condition, who was so distressed. So he fortunately met him, and that he was able to give some kind of happiness to him. First of all, We must see to it that he gets a little flesh on his bones, he said to his daughter, who was busy at the table. Okay, now, he reaching there, he went there for the breakfast, and then as he reached there, he was thinking, and then he said to his daughter that, well, we should try and we should make sure, we should try and make sure that our friend, or my friend, that is this old regimental friend, first of all, gets some flesh on his bones. That is, he was bony structure. He was skeleton, you can say, very thin. Thin means skin was out to the bone. So he said that first we need to add some flesh to his bones, to his body. That is our first duty. That is, we need to feed him nicely. Second is, we must see that he gets something else to do than to run around the country selling rat traps. And then secondly, it's our duty to do something for him so that he no longer roamed about the countryside. He no longer needed to move from village to village, from door to door, selling rat traps. So this is the explanation of page 38. Thank you.